Hi. Hey. How you doing? Ho. So, welcome to me. Hi. How you doing? Ha. Okay, good. Glad we got that out of the way. I'm gonna look at the camera instead of that screen up there. I'm gonna talk to people. Now that we're 30 seconds in, if you were joining us on Instagram, we have about 3.5 minutes left already. I know that. I am the founder of the Lift and Shift Foundation, and I'm here online streaming tonight briefly to talk about our Battle of the Bots program. It's a game we play. It's a challenge. It's an event. Excuse me. That helps us connect with veterans, families, and do fun things. So I'm not gonna give away all the secrets, but I'm gonna take a few minutes now just to say that we've done this in the past for the last couple of years actually until COVID sidelined us. We did this in New York City, and it was really fun. It was a day of inviting families out to play with robots and learn how to do things like navigate a maze, have a sumo battle with other teams, or navigate a chessboard. Try to make your robot move around on grid squares like chess, checkers, things like that. And the fun part is that it's based on a platform that people as young as 8 can figure out, can learn how to operate, can learn how to function. There's no requirement for code. There you don't have to know C++ or Java or Python or anything. It's not like that. It uses a Scratch software platform, which is kind of like snapping Lego blocks together. There are these commands, and I equate it a lot to the military, to be honest. You have these commands. I equate it mostly to, if you have ever served in the military or you've seen people on a parade field, saluting and marching in units or groups, then you've seen the idea that certain commands tell soldiers, sailors, marines, airmen to do certain things, and it's very simple. It's just snapping together a couple blocks to tell people what they can and can't do, except people in our case is a robot. I have babbled for a few minutes about it, basically for the benefit of Instagram. If you are catching this on Instagram Live, come over to Twitch. Come on, come on. That's where I'll be doing this for at least another 15-20 minutes. I'm going to break out one of the robots right here, one of the bigger robots, a military-themed robot, and talk a little bit about what it does, how it works, what it's capable of, and show off the platform, those blocks I mentioned, those parade field commands that I've just given hints away. But I have a 4-minute limit on Instagram, so you're not going to catch any of that if you don't come over and join us. You can probably find this on YouTube too, but I'm running 4, 3, 2, 1 out of time. Bye. And that leaves me with a regular sized screen. If you were watching on Instagram, the screen was this big. Now the screen is this big. And I'm going to take about another 15 minutes to play with some of the things. I'm going to close a window. No. I'm going to grab my screen and slide me over a bit now so I can share some things over here, right here. I'm gonna open up a window. I think it's this one. Yep, look at that. There we go. So there's a website you can stare at. I can talk about. But for right now, I'm just going to talk about the robots. Robots are very, very, very easy. Right now, what we use is from a company called MakeBlock, and here it is. I have boxes of these that we break out. I have a few tablets, and this is the kind of stuff that we show up to events and try to get some food, try to have some fun, do things that are cool. This is not the robot we use at the events. This is a robot that I like to show off because it is very military themed. It is a tank, but it does a lot of other things. It's called the Ranger, this kit. And technically, I call it the Ranger all the time just because it's the kit is the Ranger. That's what we pay for, that's what we buy. But I always build this big guy here. And technically, that is called the Land Raider. I will never call it the Land Raider. You will... Good luck trying to get me to change names at this point. It's Ranger is stuck in my head. But there are these other cool bots that it makes. You can see it does this this little thing with eyes. It does I forget, nervous bird and the dashing raptor. But I stick with the Ranger because it looks like a tank, right? It's like the military. I mean, I'm not a tanker. I was never a tanker. I'm not, I might heckle the tankers, but it looks like a tank. It makes me feel all army-ish. It's relatable to me, and it's relatable to a lot of other people. So I'm going to break out some parts because this is one that I use for demonstrations and things frequently. So here we go. This is actually the brain of the robot. And it's got a bunch of lights and ports and USB plug and some power cords and things, all kinds of crazy stuff to connect to. But this is the brain. This is kind of like where all the processing happens and how it gathers information and tells other parts, what to do with that information. So this is the cool part. It's actually based on an Arduino, which is an open source microcontroller. This one is an 18 mega 256, I think. I'm not quite sure, but this is it, and it snaps together. It connects with other stuff, and it goes right on the chassis. Here we go. This is the actual tank body. I've got it assembled so you can see the drivetrain, the gears, the tracks. These are rubber tracks and kind of like an aluminum chassis with these two motors right here. It's got a battery bank that goes inside, and I'm gonna finish assembling or finish adding the batteries right now. It takes I don't have enough batteries. Snap. So I'm going to add the batteries that are hard to reach. Just like that. And just like that. They just pop right in, just like a normal battery case. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm going to leave the one open battery there. So normally there's it comes with a screwdriver or something. To take these screws and things off, you have to have a little bit of dexterity, and it takes a while. It actually takes me an hour to assemble this completely. But what I'm going to do right now is attach the brain. Ooh, attach the brain. I'm doing terrible at this today. This whole sharing things on the screen. And here we go. So I've just threaded these two screws very quickly, just hand threaded them so that we have parts together. Check it out. It has its own little tool. It is this. And of course, it comes with two fittings. So I'm going to quickly crank that down. Dun dun dun. Now it's assembled. So you can see the motors snap into place. Like so. You can feel the click, but you can't really hear it. Yep, click, click. There are these wires here for sensors. That's how robots see and hear things, which is the cool part. So there's these motors that make it go, and then it's a robot, so it may learn or be told how to see things or do things. And that leads us to these two sensors. These are input sensors. They collect information from the environment and share it to that brain. This one is an ultrasonic sensor. It shoots out a sound that we can't hear, and it hears it back. It bounces off walls and things and comes back, and it can measure the time it takes for that to happen. And it does some math and says, oh, stuff is a foot away, or stuff is 7 feet away, that kind of thing. I think it's got a limit of like 40 centimeters. To be honest, it's not going to go 7 feet, but any case. So it kind of goes like that and makes it look like a little person, like a transformer or something. Cool. I'm not going to attach it today. I'm not going to, because I'm missing one battery to make this thing actually go. So instead I'm going to show off the sensors. This is a line following sensor is what it's technically called according to MakeBlock. This is their line sensor module. And you can see it's got this wire where it also sends information from the environment to the brain. And what this actually does is there's a little LED light on both sides here, and then there's a little LED sensor, a light sensor. And the light shines down and it bounces back up. And depending on the wavelength of the color, depending on the color that it bounces off of, the certain temperature range of light is reflected back. So if it's a dark surface, less light is reflected back than if it's a light surface, basically. So this would follow a line like a dark line on a white surface, which is kind of cool. And I've done some testing with this specific module, these LEDs. They work with different textures in different ways. So black fabric does not work as well on a line as other things. So I find that fascinating, and that may play into some of what we do with these robots as we have a Battle of the Bots event in virtual space. So basically what we're going to do starting in November is have challenges for these robots where you can join and you can learn how to do some of the things that happen right here. And the challenging part is that I can't send a robot like this to everyone. Even if I did, if Joe joined to play with us, I couldn't send him this robot. I could, but he would be like alone at home playing by himself. So what we're going to do as we start the program is all of the robots are going to be here in a in their own little venue. We'll call it our own little venue, our own little stadium, our own little challenge, our own little competition. And we're going to break out these big tank robots as opposed to the somewhat smaller and not really as fancy MBot robots. So we'll be using the Rangers, this Ranger bot, next month. And there will be some here. And instead of Joe joining, signing up, wanting to play with us, at home staring at a robot by himself, he's going to be able to join us on a website that we use to code these. So what's going to happen is I'm going to share that website right here. This is the website. This is MakeBlock. This is where we actually code that robot. And you can see here, if I go to software, excuse me, you can see that they have software you can download. I'm not going to download it. We're going to go, excuse me, we're going to go to, let's keep scrolling. That's not fair. mblock, and no. That's terrible. I'll tell you what. We're just going to skip that. And go straight to the IDE. Right there. So instead of trying to search on their website and give a little tutorial, this is the application that we use to actually code these robots. So I'm going to shrink down the little dude right there so you can see. I'm going to delete that little thing. We can add a device right here, and I can find the MBot Ranger right there. And we can code this MBot Ranger right here on the internet. So as people join us for Battle of the Bots, they'll be able to code their robot. For example, when the Ranger starts up, we would do something. Forever. So this is like as complicated as it gets. We're snapping together blocks, just like I mentioned, just like a Lego. Snapping forever. It's going to move forward. Actually, see, look, we can snap together blocks. It's going to move forward at 50% power for 1 second, and then forever move forward at 50% power until, for example, if a sensor says something like if the ultrasonic sensor is less than 50, which means less than, there's basically something in the way, it would stop moving. Just like that. Right there. I just snapped together code to say that. And the cool part about it is I will be issuing a challenge for Battle of the Bots. And if Joe, for example, oh, hey, I'm not working on anything. I'm just explaining kind of the process, just snapping things back and forth. And thank you, because that's a good reminder. I should probably switch. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's easier to see. No, go away. So that's basically the bits and pieces of how this works. So starting in November, we will be breaking out the Ranger and some kind of challenge, whether it's maybe we start with a sumo battle or having the Ranger, I don't know, climb something, navigate an obstacle, whatever the case may be. There will be a challenge, and the robots will be here, right, streaming on the screen with a big fancy, one of my extra video cameras, excuse me, here, and then Joe, our sample private Joe Snuffy, would be able to solve this challenge by snapping together this stuff right here, and then sending or sharing or emailing the file to me, and I will upload it into the robot, and it will, Joe will have a chance to show his robot doing what it does to everyone. Cool. So that's the basic function of Battle of the Bots. As it was when we did this in person, that's just how we're gonna bring it online, and we'll be behind the scenes helping troubleshoot for anyone who might have issues, not know how to solve the problem. There'll be plenty of input, feedback, and support, and kind of not troubleshooting, but problem solving, because that's a big function of being able to not just code a robot, but for the robot itself to be able to solve its own problems. Those are parts of artificial, not necessarily artificial intelligence, not like a neural network, not some of that extra nerdy, super computational stuff, but it's important for everyone to learn how to solve these problems and to prioritize where a bottleneck might be, where a disconnect might be, as far as a procedure or a set of events that happen in the process of completing a challenge. So for the most part, it will still be an hour or two of playing with robots, having fun, and doing cool stuff. But it will not be all of us in one room. It will not be all of us stuffing our faces with pizza while we have our robots crashing into each other live in front of each other. But this will be the way to reach veterans who maybe can't get to New York City, maybe can't get out of their house, maybe want to join but can't find daycare, can't find whatever transportation, whatever issues stop people from attending an in-person event, can do this here with us online and still participate, still play. And at the end of the day, we'll probably regroup, have the typical military after-action review, look at what worked, what didn't, how people could do something different or better, or what might come up at a next event. And that's pretty much it. I don't have a lot of information about this right now, and it's going to be boring watching me piece together the rest of this stuff, especially since I don't have all the batteries in it to make it flash and light and do all the fun stuff it should do. But this is the basic platform, and it's super easy to code, super easy to snap together. You just watched me do this. In fact, I can do it again. We've installed the Ranger bot here. When the Ranger bot starts up, this is how we start the code. We snap together a couple blocks. We will have our little Ranger move forward at 50% power for 1 second. Then forever he'll be listening, because that's what he does. He's listening for his next code or his next sensor. Forever, if he hears something, he's going to do something. So that's a conditional statement as far as code is concerned. And if his something is less than 10, we can change that to 10. I will say if his line sensor on port 9 says less than 10 centimeters, he will stop. Right there. And that's it. That's how we'll leave it. That was super easy. That took 2 minutes to create a code. And I don't have to learn anything. I don't have to learn any programming languages. I don't have to learn C++ or Java or Python or anything. These are specific commands. Just like if you were a soldier or a Marine on a parade field, and somebody is asking you to complete the move, left face, right face, forward march, any of those things, these are the same types of commands. It's just a different set of commands, just like drill and ceremonies or parade execution is different from battlefield execution. You would not tell somebody on a parade field to to use the same commands as you would on a battlefield. Those kind of shoot, move, and communicate things are different from the I'm in a dress uniform. I'm moving around to show off my unit for an inspection, that type of stuff. So they're just, the robot commands here are the same, but it's just a different set. And I think that's a very easy way to look at it from a military standpoint, as well as just a don't get overwhelmed. I think the hardest part about this whole platform, that I tell people all the time, is these buttons. There are more commands than you know, and they're color coded. I spend more time looking through the colors than anything else. But that's really it. That's all there is to it. It's super simple. And next month we will put this in practice, and we will give anybody and everybody who can make it through a brief prep with us the chance to join us and compete. And there will be trophies. We have a design contest, a design challenge, as I never really get this word right. So if I go to our website, weliftingchef.org, you can go to resources. You can find out what's going on this month. There is real live in-person Battle of the Bots right there. There is information on how to find us on the YouTube Streamlabs if you are not on Twitch. There are contests this month, one of which was design a trophy for our Battle of the Bots. This Tinkercad modeling, which is a platform you can use to model things like trophies, happened earlier today. Our mission prep workshop, if you have not made a video game with me, if you have not coded anything in this platform right here, sign up, drop in. I will give you a better overview while we actually create a real video game. Instead of using the robots, we'll be using the little panda. Once you do that with me, you're all good. You hop in. You will be able to jump in the round robin or just participate in general, and that's about it. I really don't have any other information. It's gonna be fun, and I think now it's up to our design team to sort out how we want to piece all this together over the next couple weeks. I'm happy to get back into prep and planning and all of the fun stuff. So I feel like the last half hour has been extremely boring. It's just been me talking and waving this box around. But yeah, that's about it. It's been boring. But that's the half hour. That's what I allotted for tonight, just to share the background and to share the parts and how this is going to look, and to say sign up, share it, join, and play with us. That's about it. That's about all I got. I'm gonna switch back. I'm not a big fan of me being the face right here, but sometimes it happens. I'm much happier letting everybody else take credit, to steal the show, do all the other stuff. I'm fine with all that. I don't really need to be here doing all this, but that's how it's going for today. So cool. I am gonna wrap things up now though, and I'm gonna say look for us sometime before or after Veterans Day, and share our website, share the links, sign up, join me on. I think I'll be hosting workshop on the 28th. Was it for mission prep for November? So yeah, yeah. I see you, Dave, and you've already done it at least once. You can join again, or you can host it. I'm cool with that. But I'll hit you up in Slack sometime tomorrow or Monday. And that's it. I've really gone over my half hour, and I'm gonna call it quits because I'm just dragging this out at this point.